Hey everybody. Well, I'll get started here in a minute or two. I want to wait until we have as many people on here as we can. We actually had over 200 people register for the call. I don't know how many will actually be on it, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, hope everybody is having a good holiday season. Hope everyone had a good, Christmas. And if you celebrate, Hanukkah or any other holidays, that too. And wishing everyone a happy new year in advance as well for tomorrow night and Thursday. So yeah, I might wait until like I don't know, 7:03 or something like that, and then kind of go ahead and get started. And I'll probably, start just focusing on the portal and actually showing it to you guys, but I also want to have some time later in the call for like any kind of Q&A that people may have. So we can do that as well. And even like during the call, even starting now, if anyone has any, questions, comments, anything they want to say, feel free to drop it in the chat. Okay, it's 7:03. I may go ahead and start off this call. Say we've got a few more people joining in here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start. So for any of you who may not already know me, my name is Taylor. I'm the founder of QCGC. I started QCGC in April of 2020. So at this point, it has been a little over 5.5 years. So it's definitely been a while since the group first started. And, you know, I'm amazed to see just how the group has grown, both the size of the group itself and the quantity of members that we have, as well as how our team internally has grown. To start, when I first started out, it was just me. Then I added one person in 2021, and at this point, we have, including myself, 11 people on the team for QCGC. So it's amazing to see that, and I'm really appreciative of everyone in the group currently, and especially the people who have been with us since the very beginning or from the early days. But as a lot of up until this point, everything has been done through Google Sheets for submitting gift cards, reserving capacity, seeing the details of the deals, all those things. And we've wanted to build a portal for a pretty long time. And we, just a few months ago, finally got to the point where we had moved through a lot of other projects we were working on, and we're actually in the position to start working on this. And I'm really excited about it. The team is really excited about it, and I know that it's something that a lot of our members have been waiting on for a long time. So without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead and just get right into it and start sharing my screen and show you guys what we have built so far. So firstly, in terms of actually, creating an account, and by the way, if at any point you guys can't hear me, if there's anything wrong with my audio or visual, sharing the screen, just let me know. Drop a message in the chat, please, so that I'm aware and can make any adjustments that might be necessary. But in terms of actually logging into the portal or creating an account, we actually changed the buttons on here on our homepage. So just qcgc.io. So you can click, for example, sign up here or any of these other buttons on the homepage, and they take you to this page where you can register to have an account on the portal. And if you already have an account, you can just click log in right there. Now, here is the portal itself. We already went ahead and actually imported all of the users that already have accounts on our website on qcgc.io, which should contain and include everyone who also has reservation sheets, and who has joined the Google groups that we have used to actually give people access to the reservation sheets and all that. So we just got done like an hour ago importing everybody. So it's like more than 2,000 users. And so, for anyone who already had an account on the website, you should have received an email when we created your account for you here in the portal. So be on the lookout for that, and you can go in there and reset your password and already have access to all this stuff. So I guess I'll just kind of go through each section and show you guys what we have here. So even before I start going through the sections, I'll show some stuff up here. So we've got the dark mode, which is just the default, and that's the one that I like to use. And then we also have light mode if anyone wants to see it, in that mode. Now I'm going to switch back to dark mode because it's my favorite. So anyway, here's the dashboard. There's not a whole lot there. It's just some very, very, very basic things. So we'll probably, build on this as time goes on and have some more interesting things to look at in the dashboard. But for now, it's just a couple basic metrics and things there. Here is, probably the most interesting section of the portal. So we've got the deals section where you can see all the deals. So you can see the deal name, the source, where you're actually buying gift cards from, how much capacity is remaining, the end date and time, and then also the minimum and maximum profit amounts. And then we're actually going to go into each of these deals and look so you guys can see, how that's calculated. But that's what that looks like. You can also sort based on pretty much every column here, including some things that are not shown there. So you can sort by the deal name, source name, A to Z, start date, end date, minimum, maximum profit, etc. So you have that flexibility there in terms of how you want to see the deal sorted. Here we have the filters, which we have a couple things here that I really like. So one is the ability to see only your sources, and we'll go look at the where you set your notification preferences for the types of deals that you want to be notified about in a minute. But basically those deals or those sources that you have selected over here, you can toggle this on when you're looking at deals, and it'll only show you, you know, those sources. Now, apparently, these are all I have all these sources selected. So anyway, but then you can search for a specific source. You can specify a minimum remaining amount. So let's say, $1,000. I can do my sources only. I can say end until, whenever. And then another cool thing is you can also save your filter views and remember it for future visits. So if you toggle this on and you do apply filters and you like go away and then come back, it actually saves those filters that you specified. So you don't have to apply the same filters every single time that you log in. And I'm not going to log out and log back in right now, but it also saves them if you like fully log out of your account. So, and it shows you clearly here which filters you have applied. So anyway, that's really helpful, and you can reset everything by just clicking that. So those are those two features right there. And then for each of these, just really quick before I go into each deal, you can click on this quick look button, and it actually opens this side panel, which shows you some of the just basic details of the deal. So what type of deal it is, if it's gift card, as opposed to like a fuel point only deal, or even a gift card and fuel points combo deal. And you can see the source, the deal link. So you can click on that and easily go to the link that we have where you can buy the gift cards, or where you can see all the details about the promotion. And then remaining capacity, the min max for profit, the schedule. So when it started, when it ended, and then some notes here. At some point, I do want to actually make it so that you can see the capacity for like if it's various gift card options for a single deal. I want to make it so that you can actually reserve within this side panel. Currently, you can't do that, but that's something that I have planned for the future. So anyway, let's go into one of these. So let's go into this one, I guess. Various brands from anywhere. So this is basically just gift cards that we are taking, even though there's no active promotion. So you can see, just the name of the deal here, the source. Just by default, if it's a standing deal, we're just going to put everywhere or anywhere as the source. Total remaining capacity, start date and end date. There's no deal link for this one if it's just standing deals for cards that we're taking. And down here, we can see the actual card options. So you've got the brand, the denomination, your cost, and that column in this type of deal is kind of weird. We might at some point just put 100% or something. But we'll look at some other deals where it's more relevant. And then we got the total payout, total profit, payout time, the total remaining quantity or capacity for each of those options. Then the user limit, which right now is just the same as the remaining capacity, basically. But we want to start implementing limits per user, so that we can make sure that everybody collectively is able to reserve some capacity, because we have seen many instances in the past with the reservation sheets on Google Sheets where somebody will reserve like half the capacity, and then there's other people complaining that they weren't able to reserve anything, and it gets filled up super quickly. So we are going to start to implement that, and on future deals, and I can even adjust this later. Like it's not going to just be, the user limit is not just going to be the same as the overall limit. So anyway, that's what that is for. And in here, you can reserve whatever quantity you're going to reserve. So if I even do a test reservation here for Kohl's and say I'm going to reserve 10 Kohl's gift cards, it's $500 per card. My total amount is $5,000, and I click reserve. So now that reservation has been created, I can go into my reservations here, click into this, and I can see, okay, I reserved Kohl's. It was $500. Yeah, $500 denomination cards. quantity is 10, and I can add the cards here. I can also add the cards from the reservations page. So if I click this, the same pop-up appears and I can submit the cards. So I could do a, single card, so whatever. Or I could do bulk entry. And then it also has rules for like the quantity of digits that should be there for both the card number and the pin. See what happens if I try to submit. So it's saying I did 20 characters. So let me remove that one, and so there we go. Submitted that card. We can also do bulk entry. So you do one card per line, basically have it separated by a comma. It is also set up to parse if you copy and paste from a spreadsheet. So if you copy and paste from Google Sheets, for example, normally there will be a space in between the gift card number and the pin as opposed to just a comma right there. It's set up so that it can parse that as well. And and then you could submit the cards without getting an error. Additionally, if you are copying cards that have spaces like in between digits and the card numbers, so I've seen some like Bath and Body Works, for example, where wherever you buy them from, it might have a space in between every 4 digits. We also have it set up where it can parse that as well. So if there's spaces in between the numbers or dashes, it can account for that. And then you've got the CSV upload where you can upload a CSV with these 2 columns, the card number and the pin, and do it that way if you already have a big spreadsheet or an Excel file with cards that you need to upload. So that is how that works. Let's see. And then if you need to edit your reservation, you can also do it this way. So you can go in and change it to 5 or do whatever you need to do. Let's see. Notification selection for anywhere. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. So then I will need to go in here and actually add, or actually no, it looks like it's there. So Sky, is this what you were talking about? It not the anywhere not being here in the notification settings? Yep, all good. I honestly I wouldn't be like anything that can potentially go wrong or that we forgot or that is missing or not set up right, like I won't be surprised. As much testing as we did on things, there's always the potential for things to be missed. So yeah, no worries there. And if anybody does see anything that they think should be different or is not set up properly, feel free to drop a message in the chat or ask questions if you need anything clarified as well. So let's look at this this Best Buy deal from DoorDash. We got the link there. So this is for the people who have Dash Pass, and you can get 10% off Best Buy gift cards up to $25 per purchase, meaning that the highest denomination you can get from this is $250, as I understand it. Not sure why we have 300 there, but that's okay. We can remove that later. So yeah, on this one, if we look at your cost column, it's a lot clearer than the deal where we just have various gift cards from anywhere. So on this one, your cost is actually 90%. So you'd be getting Best Buy cards at 10% off. You'd be paying 90% of face value. And then if we're paying 92%, your profit is 2%. And then, yeah, we got payout time, the remaining capacity, user limit, and then the quantity that you want to reserve. And then you can reserve right there. And then this column for your total automatically updates whenever you select a number here. So that is that. You got reservations, so that's pretty straightforward. You can view your reservations that way, and you can also just submit the gift cards from this section. Got filters there too. There's not really any filters there to be used. Then we have the rates page here. And basically what this is doing is it's just taking and compiling all the different available gift card brands and denominations. and we actually need to adjust some of the columns here as well. So we'll work on that. But it's showing you all of the rates in one place. So if you want to try to find the rate for a specific gift card, brand, and denomination combo, this is where you can do that. You can also sort here by these different options. So it's by default set to brand A to Z, but you can do the opposite of that. You can sort by low to high denomination, highest payout rate, lowest payout rate, etc. So you can do that. And then you can also view the deal that each particular gift card brand and denomination combo is connected to. So not only seeing the rates, but then you can say, okay, like Airbnb 500s at 89%. Okay, which deal is that for? And then, you can go into the deal. So if we look at Best Buy, we click this, we go back to the DoorDash Best Buy deal that we were just looking at. So that's the rates section. And then for gift cards, this is where you would see your gift cards after you have submitted them. And we're actually planning on importing in bulk all of the gift cards that people have submitted to us in 2025 so that nobody has to like go back and forth between their 2025 QCGC submission sheet, that Google sheet, and then the portal where they have their new gift cards that they're going to be submitting. We think that doing it for the past year will be sufficient. So that's currently what the plan is. So we haven't done that yet. We have imported all of the users, but we are also planning on importing all the gift cards, history for all of the users for 2025. So, but yeah, you can see your gift cards, same thing, sorting, filters, etc. And you can say filter views and stuff. Then, same type of, and I think we got somebody, let's see, I'm gonna mute. Yeah. So we don't have any background noise, but yeah, same thing here for fuel points. Pretty straightforward stuff. And then yeah, we can see payouts as well and see which gift cards are connected to those payouts, and the deal, brand, denomination, etc. In the payout date, whether it's pending or already paid. So that's all that stuff. Then you have 2FA that you can set up if you want, just for account security. Now, the email notification settings, this is something that we weren't really able to do up until this point because we didn't have a portal, but I think this will provide a lot of value to all of you guys, to all of our users. So with this, you can select which sources you want to be notified about and which ones you don't. So currently I have all these except for these two selected. But you can, subscribe in bulk to all of them. You can also unsubscribe in bulk from all of them. And for example, if I'm a user or a QCGC member and I say, okay, I only want to get notifications about Kroger deals, which is obviously a popular option here. I can do that. I can just go toggle on one by one, Kroger, Kroger.com. And then, okay, I'm only subscribed to Kroger. I'm only going to be notified about deals where you can buy gift cards from Kroger, either Kroger in store, which would be this one, just normal Kroger, or Kroger.com. They're doing an online deal. Now, I also do want to mention that we have it set up on the back end where if you select one of Kroger's affiliate stores that they own, so like King Soopers, I'm pretty sure is one, Harris Teeter is one. Let's see, we got like Fred Meyer. I think Fry's might be one. Where's Mariano's? There we go. So any of those, which is they're all just regional, but they're all owned by Kroger and pretty much always participate in the same Forex fuel point deals or promotions. You will also be notified about Kroger deals if you have one of those selected. So yeah, that's what this looks like. And like I said, you can, if you only want to be notified about a couple different types of deals, you could just deselect all these and then go in and kind of cherry pick the ones that you want to be notified about. Or if it's the reverse, if you're like, yeah, I want to receive everything except for, a handful, then you can do that as well. So that's what that is. As with everything here in the portal, there are things that we want to continue adding. So there are several ideas we have of how we want to improve this section in the future. But for now, I think it does the job. And then here you've got payment info. So just the payment that you have to enter in order for us to pay you for gift cards. And we always do just normal ACH. So you would put in the account holder name, sorry, on the account, the bank name, account number, routing, account type, and then mailing address and all that stuff. So that's pretty much the extent of the portal so far. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. And I want to say too, this is a V1. This is, it's not meant to be perfect. It's not meant to be the end product. This is meant to be a V1, basically a starting point or a starting place. And then from there, going forward, we want to be consistently making improvements and adding new features to this and making it as easy as humanly possible for you guys to use the portal and to see gift card deals, get notified about promotions, reserve capacity, submit cards, all those things. Now we have put in a lot of work and effort and time to make the best possible V1 of the portal that we could, given the deadline that we gave ourselves, which was the end of the year. And we started working on this around like 3 months ago. So, just kind of that balance between striving for excellence and wanting to launch a high quality product and platform and portal from the beginning, but also not waiting until it's literally perfect, because then we'd be waiting around forever. So I think we did a good job with the V1, but again, this is a V1, and I actually envision this and would like for this to be basically a collaboration between QCGC and the members. So I want to be receiving feedback from you guys, as much as we can get. And that goes for anything that is not working properly on the portal. Because again, as much testing as we do, like there's so many moving parts on the back end. So there can always be things that break, or there can be bugs and errors and things like that. So not only those things, but also suggestions for new features. We want to hear about those and just general feedback. Now, to give you guys an easy way to do that, we actually also added this report a bug thing here. So just, very readily accessible here in the header. So you just click this and you type in like what it's related to. You can describe, what's going on, if it's an issue or a feature you want to suggest, or just general feedback. And if you feel lazy and don't want to type a bunch of stuff, you can also do this. You can click this microphone and you can just speak and it will record everything you say. So that's cool. And we don't require you to upload a screenshot or screen recording or anything like that, but we have these two fields if you want to drop in like a link if you did a screen recording with Loom, or a screenshot of things. So, but yeah, we want to make it really easy for you guys to give us feedback, to let us know if things aren't working, to suggest new features. So that's why we have this here. And ultimately that's, part of the larger goal of just giving all of you guys what you want, like basically giving you the sort of the portal of your dreams. Or like if you could, snap your fingers and have like the perfect gift card portal, what would it look like? Like that's what we want to move towards. So we always want to be, just receiving feedback, receiving ideas, and all those things. So I think I have pretty much showed you guys everything that we have. So I'm gonna jump in here and see what questions or comments are here. So can we have more than one bank account? June is asking that. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. So thank you for asking that question. Um, I'll have to think about it. So currently the answer just with how it's set up right now is no, meaning like the system just has, the fields for one singular account. But I guess the question too is what exactly would the use case be? Because if it's something where you're like using an account now, but then you might, change it later. In that case, you could just change it as opposed to if you want to have um, payments going to multiple accounts on a regular basis. So, but I would suggest maybe, I mean, I can also just like notate that myself to kind of check on later. But if you also want to like add that with this form here, then we'll have it on the back end, kind of along with the list of any other things that people submit there. Is there a plan to add SMS message notifications at some point? Yes. That is something that is on the roadmap that I very much want to do because I think that would make it easier for people to be notified. So you're not having to rely only on email, and also not on, WhatsApp or Telegram either. Because I mean, I know that some people are in tons of group chats, and so they get kind of overwhelmed and stuff gets like buried and kind of just turns into noise at a certain point and all those things. Um, and of course, with WhatsApp and Telegram, there's no filtering or being able to determine which types of deals or sources you get notified about. So with SMS, having it connected to this, we would be able to do that. So yes, we are planning on doing that at some point. We username and password need to be reset for this new portal. So the password, I believe that when we as admins create an account for a user, like we did earlier today, just importing everybody, I believe it should send you an email notifying you about that and also asking you to reset your password or to add a password in the first place. So I believe the answer is yes. Can we start uploading gift cards now, or should we wait a bit? Um, so you can go ahead and start uploading gift cards now. There's not really, well, I guess there's kind of some nuance here. So if you go in and you reserve capacity with one of these deals, like tonight or whenever, then yes, you can go ahead and submit the gift cards. Now, if you already reserved capacity through a Google Sheet, through a reservation sheet that we posted, either on WhatsApp or Telegram, then you would need to submit that just through the normal submission sheet. Since here in the portal, there is no, like, there wouldn't be a reservation that exists already for you to submit the gift cards for, if that makes sense. So, what I'm planning on doing probably is, for the next few days, people can still submit cards for reservations that they already reserved through a Google Sheet, through a reservation sheet. And you submit that in your sheet, like you normally would, and then we will go on the back end and upload those cards or import those cards into the system so that you can see them in the portal. So it just depends on whether you reserved already through a reservation sheet or if you're going to reserve, in here. But yeah, for anyone who or for any cards that need to be submitted or that people want to submit that are not part of an existing reservation from a sheet, we want you to start using the portal. So we're basically trying to transition over to this, fairly quickly. Um, so does anyone else have any other questions or comments about anything here, while we are still on the call? Let's see. So I think this question is basically saying, or what I understand here is like having an option to submit a different denomination than what we are like posting in the deal. Is that correct? So let's say, like, for example, we post a deal and we say we're taking Home Depot $100 cards, but then you want to submit a $50 card or $200 card. So I don't, okay, thanks for clarifying that. I don't think that that will be a thing that we will do. Probably what will happen is, we'll just have capacity for multiple denominations of the same brand. Now, obviously, some deals only really allow you to buy a specific denomination. So let's say, one I've seen several times is PayPal digital gifts will sell Adidas $50 cards for $40. Right. Obviously, then you're only buying $50 cards. So, like, that's all that we would be taking from that specific deal. However, we might still have capacity for Adidas $100 or $200 or $25 cards, either from a different deal or just as a standing deal, meaning like it's not tied to any specific active promotion. It's literally just, hey, we're buying cards at this rate, for this brand and this denomination, regardless of where you get it from, in case people have, because I mean, people will buy cards from promotions when they go on, and then maybe they, wait for a good deal later on, or who knows what. But people a lot of times will have cards that they purchased before. So yeah, that's probably what we would do, is just have multiple denominations available for the same brand across multiple deals. And if there's no active promo, we'll just have it in a, standing deals, like, a from anywhere type deal. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I really, really would like everybody to, or, anyone who's willing to or wants to just kind of think through like really cool features that we can add. And that doesn't mean that we're not already thinking through some ideas on our own internally. We have been doing a lot of brainstorming, but I want to get feedback and ideas from the group as well. So, things that start with, hey, it would be so cool if dot dot dot, basically that kind of stuff, where, just really cool things we can add that would streamline and simplify the process for everybody, and maybe things that don't already exist, with gift card portals yet, something that we can do that's new that no one else has done before. We're very much open to those sorts of things. So, but again, for now, at the very least, like, I'm so happy and excited that we have a portal, because it's been, so long since the group started, and so long that I've been wanting to have one. And I think a lot of people in the group have been waiting for that too. So we normally, and this is kind of also the direction that we're moving towards, is having communication be done via email, at least for the short term. So one thing among many things that we still need to actually go in here and add to the portal is basically a contact page, which specifies different people on our team that you can reach out to, and different email addresses based on the type of issue that you are looking to get help with. So, for example, something that, if you have questions about upcoming payments, if you have questions about, a card that you submitted that we, came back and said was invalid, if you have questions about rates, whatever, I want to add a page where you can go in and see, like, okay, which email address do I reach out for each of those things. At some point, we might add some kind of ticketing system here, some kind of, chat, something like intercom or something like that. But for now, it would just be via email. So hopefully very soon we will have something something like that available. So with this question, so you can, let's see if I can do it from here. Well, actually, I'm gonna do it in incognito. So if you go, if you're just on the QCGC homepage and you click log in, it now takes you to the login page for the portal. And I mean, you can also, if you don't already have an account, you can click this to sign up for one, to register. And if you need to register, you can also just click sign up here or any of these other buttons. So that's how you get to the link to sign in, or you can literally just go to portal.qcgc.io. And if you're not signed in, it'll just by default go to the login page. So in terms of still notifying a Telegram, if we drop reservations, I think that would be good for now. So I would say yes, just so that if anybody who tried to reserve and could not, and the deal got filled up and they weren't able to reserve, they probably would appreciate being notified about that. But I will think about how we can streamline that going forward, and maybe we just have some kind of automated notification system if any capacity is released at any point, or we might just not do that at all, just to avoid bombarding people with notifications about capacity being released, or potentially something where maybe if a deal gets filled up, we add, and I'm literally just thinking out loud right now. I'm just brainstorming off the top of my head, but maybe we can add something where if a deal is filled up, then you can I don't know, sign up to or click something to be on the wait list or something, so that if capacity gets released, you get notified about it, but that only happens if you actually click or sign up to receive notifications about that, and otherwise you just don't. So yeah, we'll see what we can do there in terms of changing your login email address. Let's see. Yep, looks like you can. So yeah, it looks like we have that set up. So anyway, yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'll still stay on for a few more minutes in case anyone has anything else they want to ask or say. But aside from that, I also just want to say I really appreciate everyone who registered for this call and who's actually here live watching. I don't know how many people in total are here on the call right now. I mean, I guess I could try to guess or see. Yeah, it looks like maybe close to 50 or something like that. Any plans to develop an app for the platform? Maybe. That's what I'll say. But yeah, it literally, I mean, any ideas that you guys have, not only, I mean, we definitely do want you to report bugs that you find on here. If you're yeah, this button doesn't work or it gives me an error message or something, but we also want to receive ideas from people. So anything that has to do with apps, whatever, stuff like that. Where am I? Binayak. I am in the USA. I'm in Charlotte right now, but I hope to be in South America at some point within the next couple of months. So Studley, yes, there will be a recording of the call. So the whole call is being recorded. I will most likely send it out via WhatsApp and Telegram and just via email. So if you stay on the lookout for that, you should see it. Melody is asking here about, a document for tips or with tips for buying gift cards at Kroger and, the different rules for different brands. So I do want to essentially revamp the onboarding course. Because right now the onboarding course as of today is basically outdated now, or at least, a lot of it is that shows you how to like create your reservation or your submission sheet and, you know, email collaborators or like execute the script or whatever and do all that stuff. So I am planning on revamping that and making sure that it is up to date and adapted to the portal so people can see like, all right, this is how I use the portal, and basically have a guide for every single step that goes into a lot of detail explaining how everything works. Maybe we'll even have some, not just text and images, maybe some videos as well. So I'm planning on doing that. Um, but yeah, just didn't have time to do it before we actually like launched the portal today. Paul, in terms of your question here about payment terms, so that's going to be in each deal. So I'll share my screen again and go back here. So here in this table that shows the gift card options for each deal, you actually see it here. So it'll say payout time, 21 days. And most of them are going to be 21 days just because that's kind of been the standard for us. That's normally what the payout time has been for the deals that we post. So like all these say 21 days. But they might be different at times. There might be some where we're able to do, quicker payouts. There might even be times where the opposite happens. If we, for example, are like overloaded with with inventory for some particular brand and we post a deal and we're like, okay, we can take more, but it needs to be a longer payout time. But yeah, that's where you would see it. It would just be here in the deal itself for each particular gift card option. And there might even be times where we might have different payout terms for different gift card options, or something where maybe you have the same gift card brand and denomination on here twice, but with one option, it's, a certain amount of days for the payout time and a certain rate. And then maybe the other option is a little bit, slightly better rate with longer payout terms. So yeah, that's where you see that. So cool. Um, when you do non-gift card deal, I'm just reading this question here in the chat. When you do non-gift card deals, such as the UPS Amex deal you did a few months ago, will those also be listed under deals with the gift cards? I mean, yes, probably. Now we rarely do things like that or those types of deals. So it might just be a thing where I don't know, cross that bridge when we get to it potentially. But you know, for for example, we already have built into the portal the ability for us to do fuel point only deals. So you would also see that in the deals section along with all of the gift card deals. So reason I mention that is if we do something where it's a UPS Amex offer or I don't know, a coin deal or something, we should be able to easily create just a different type of deal for that and have that in there. So yeah, we'll see what happens if and when we do another one of those. So I'm curious to hear too. I mean, we've I've seen a lot of questions from people. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Like, do you like the portal? Do you like how it looks? Like, yeah, I don't know what is the. I'm curious what the collective opinion is of the group in terms of how this is for at least a first version of the portal. I personally like it. I think it looks really good. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be biased, but I'm also very like I hold a high standard for myself and everything I do, especially within business. So if I didn't like it, I would say that. But I think we did a good job for, an initial launch. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, Teasy. At the very least is going to be a lot better than Google Sheets. I think that's, yeah, exactly. I mean, anything's going to be better than that. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. Thanks for including a dark mode. Yep, dark. Like I said, dark mode is my favorite. I mean, light mode is cool too, but dark mode to me looks pretty cool. Yep, Paul, I definitely agree. And this is just the first step too. I mean, we have a lot of, you know, big ideas, lots of things we want to do. So over the coming months, y'all will most likely see a lot of new things we'll push out. Cool. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up since we looked at everything, went through a bunch of questions and got some feedback as well. Maximum number of spots per user or short cooling off period, but let's see. Yes, so that is so what you're talking about is the user limit here. And I'm actually going to go in after we finish the call and like go in on the admin side and adjust these, but that's what this is. So we can see the total remaining capacity as a dollar amount, for each of these options, but then you've got the user limit. So right now the user limit is the same as the remaining amount, but I'm going to go in a few minutes after the call and adjust that. So let's imagine that, well, okay, denomination is 500, remaining capacity is 50,000, so that's 100 cards. So let's imagine that this says 10 instead of 100. So then each user could reserve 10 or 5 or whatever it is. And obviously the goal there is to ensure that, a lot of, different people can, or yeah, a higher quantity of individuals can reserve, and that it's not all just taken up by, you know, a smaller quantity of people. But yeah, and then I think having the like SMS notification option as well would be helpful so that people can see the deals right when they come out and not be late to reserve. And then also the idea I mentioned too, which I just literally thought of here on the call, maybe having something where if a deal's already filled up, you can like sign up to be notified if any capacity is released or something like that. So then you can like jump on it, quickly. One is shown as blank and dark mode. So let me see. Is this a hard limit or is it a user limit of non-submitted capacity? Trying to make sure I understand this question correctly. If you submit cards, oh, I see. So how it's set up currently, the intention is that if like it's just the hard limit for how many cards you can submit for that gift card option on that deal. Meaning like if you submit cards, you don't get more capacity automatically. It would just be that's how many you can submit for that deal. We may implement something later on where you can require or you can request, sorry, to get like additional capacity beyond that, especially if the deal doesn't get filled up, for a certain amount of time after we posted it. But yeah, for now, it's basically just that's how much you can do. So Tal, let me check on this. Your quantity is shown as blank in dark mode. So I'm not seeing. I don't know if you're looking at this one. I mean, this one is full, so there's nothing there. But at least for me, I can see this amount that I already reserved and it's showing for me. And then for these I haven't done, I could see this, drop down. So Tal, if you want, you could like if you're seeing something different than what I'm seeing, and let me check on light mode. Yeah, same thing. Looks fine. If you're seeing something different than what I'm seeing, you can use this report a bug feature, this form, and yeah, just like submit that and include a screenshot or something. So not sure. Let's see. Oh, okay. What browser are you on? Chrome? Okay. Huh. Yeah, I mean I'm on a Mac and I'm on Chrome, so I'm not sure. But let me okay, give me a second. I'm gonna just like notate that down or just kind of make a quick list of some of these things here. So let's see. I mean, you can do the report a bug thing if you want to upload it there, but if you don't feel like it, I'm also gonna just take note of it myself. Let's see. Now, are you saying that on light mode it doesn't do that? It's only dark mode? Or you okay, let's see. Okay, cool. So I just notated both of these things down, so I'll check on those and see what's going on with that. And then okay, I think I covered everything. I thought there might have been something that I had missed, but yeah, I guess I'm good there. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting because it looks like different than how it looks for me with the drop down. But yeah, thanks for letting me know. I mean, like I said, I've already said several times, like I want to know about anything that doesn't work. So once we hop off the call, if anyone sees things, just use this because then we'll see all of those submissions in one place and we can, go go through the list there. So anyway, we're at 7:57 p.m. Eastern. So I think we can go ahead and start wrapping this up. If there's any like final, last minute questions or comments about anything, I'll give a couple minutes for that. But otherwise, we can go ahead and finish this call soon. Oh, we cancel a reservation. So you can go to your reservation and click cancel. That's it. Um, yeah, that's how you can do it. It's pretty easy to do and readily accessible right there. So yep, that's it. All right, everybody. Well, I think it's time to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate everybody for coming on and hanging out for a little bit and just being in the group. Like I said, especially some of you guys who have been in our group for years. Some of you might even have been in the group since we started, since in 2020 or shortly after that. So glad you guys are still in the group, and I'm really excited for the portal. I think it's gonna make things a lot more streamlined and fun for everybody. So yeah, thanks for being here, everybody, and wishing you all happy holidays, happy New Year, all that good stuff. And yeah, maybe I'll see some of y'all again on future calls that we'll do here in the group. I'd like to start doing some of those more frequently. Ooh, Caesar's got an alien emoji thing floating up. That's crazy. Uh, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. But yep, Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for hopping on. So bye.